When we first walked through this property, we knew that this was not going to be a straightforward campaign. Location, exceptional. Views, incredible. But the home itself, well, that presented a very different conversation.
It sure did. For most buyers, this was either going to be a major renovation project or a knockdown rebuild. And that's what made pricing the property so challenging. Because while the land and location offered enormous appeal, buyers also had to factor in the cost of significant works.
And we mean significant.
Hmm.
Mhm. But before we even thought about marketing the property, there was a lot of work to be done.
Yeah.
And that's where we became much more than just the selling agents.
That's right. We helped organise quotes, we coordinated packing and removals, we managed the clearing out of the home, and we worked closely with the owners to prepare the property for sale.
Because sometimes, just sometimes, selling a property isn't just about marketing. Sometimes it is about helping people through everything that comes before that even starts.
That's right. And once the property was ready, we turned our attention to the pricing strategy. After analysing the location, the condition of the home, and the likely buyer pool and the cost of future works, we arrived at a quoted range that we believed accurately reflected the opportunity.
And then
Hmm.
came the first open for inspection. And that's when things became really interesting with 39 groups through.
That's right. That level of interest told us something important. The market was seeing more value in the opportunity than we initially anticipated.
So rather than sticking stubbornly to our original price position, we listened. We gathered feedback, we spoke with buyers, we analysed the conversations, and after that first weekend, we adjusted the quoted price range up.
That's right. For us, transparency is important. The quoted range should reflect genuine market feedback. If the market is telling us something we believe, it's our responsibility to respond, good or bad.
Exactly. By the end of the campaign, we had welcomed 74 buyer groups through the property. Now, that's an incredible level of engagement for a home that required or requires
Mhm.
significant work in the current market conditions that we've got. But what happened online was just as impressive.
As part of our normal marketing strategy, we focused heavily on our targeted digital advertising, not generic advertising, not simply hoping buyers would stumble across the property. We actually put the property in front of the people most likely to be interested.
And the numbers tell the story.
Yeah.
65% of all of the traffic to the realestate.com listing came directly from our social media campaigns. Now, Mel, that is nearly two out of three buyers finding the property through our marketing online.
That's right. And the result was extraordinary. The campaign became the fifth most viewed auction campaign in Australia and the second most viewed auction campaign in Victoria.
Did. Now, for a property that was initially difficult to price and difficult to position, those numbers are remarkable.
Yeah.
But they also reinforce something that we've been saying for a very long time.
Real estate marketing has changed. The best buyers aren't just driving past signboards anymore. They're online, they're scrolling,
Mhm.
they're researching, and they're making decisions about which properties to inspect before they ever leave home.
Which is why exposure matters. Because if buyers don't see your property, they can't fall in love with it. And if they don't fall in love with it, they can't and they won't compete for it.
No. So, more exposure creates more buyer engagement. More buyer engagement creates more inspections, and more inspections create the opportunity for competition.
Which brings us to auction day. Today we had three bidders competing for the property.
Yeah. And with 7 bids, it was sold for 765,000.
Whatever the final outcome was, this campaign is a perfect example of why we focus so heavily on digital marketing and buyer reach. Because the goal isn't simply to put a property online, and our job as agents is to put it in front of as many qualified buyers as possible.
And when we do that consistently, amazing things can happen.
More views, more buyers, and better prices.